So we're actually going to get started. So welcome to today's webinar, the subject of which is how to keep your sales team motivated. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat. I've actually got them set up on my screen so I can see them. I have some goals for this webinar, and I hope they align with yours. My first goal is for you to understand the importance of motivation. Then I want to take all of this information that I'm going to give you and put it in perspective for you. And as Brendan Dawson would say, contrast and context. And then at the end, I'm going to offer you a tool that will help you and your company stay motivated. So stick with us through the whole thing. Get out your pens, get out your notebooks, take notes. Don't try to just remember things. Life doesn't work that way on planet Earth. Why should you strive to become motivated? Here's a frightening number. Approximately 52% of employees in the United States are not engaged at work and perform their jobs with no passion. That means you're wasting an awful lot of payroll money. The estimates are as much as $300 billion is lost each year by employers because 52% of your employees are not engaged at work. And there's this where we got these statistics from. So I want you to go through some personal reflection questions. What are some things you are motivated to do? Take a few minutes and write them down. In fact, the easy way to do this is to take your piece of paper, 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14, draw a line down the middle on the left side, put are, on the right, aren't, and just write them down just so that you can get them out of your head and put them out into the physical universe. Why are you motivated to do the ares and not the aren'ts? These are personal reflection questions. These only apply to you. Now you have to figure out is how does your attitude, easy for me to say, correlates to your motivation. An attitude is a state of mind, much like the state of California. If your mind is on lockdown, it's tough to have a good attitude. Motivation is the reason you have for acting a certain way. Your attitude can improve or decrease your motivation. I'm speaking to you as an employee. I'm speaking as an employer to all of my employees. Attitude correlates to motivation. If you have a tough day, check it at the front door, come inside the front door, be enthusiastic, be upbeat, and work your ass off. That's how you get paid. Here's the problem. Pitfall of excuses. Unsuccessful people often have good reasons for not achieving their goals. How come you didn't do your segments today? My dog ate my homework. I forgot. Those are all good reasons to the employee, but not to the employer. Successful people use those same reasons as their motivation. If you came to work late and you get into a situation where it's noted into your personnel folder, notice something or be aware of something. You didn't arrive late, you left late. But what that means is you didn't give yourself the proper amount of time and accounted for possible mishaps, accounted for if you're using a Google mapping device or transport device or something that gives you the traffic patterns, make sure you check it before you leave your house. All right, you're going to know what you're going to run into. Those are tools that you're not using and you have completely under your control. What motivates individuals? Goals. In our company, we have a policy that you write your goals every morning when you first get up, after going to the bathroom, or you can write them up while going to the bathroom if you want, and then write them again at night, right before you go to sleep. You're using some old computer technology words. Turn on your night processor right after you write down your goals. Your mind will be working on them all night. You'll get to them faster. Training. How many people go to work on a job and get no training? Here's a book. Oh, there's a telephone. You know how to dial a telephone, don't you? We're going to find out if you're any good. I hired you to be an expert. That's not our attitude here. You have to take care of your health. You have to get up every morning and tell your body it has to move around. I get up every morning and go out and walk. And some mornings I don't want to do it. Some mornings I just have to look myself in the mirror and say, do it anyway. Acknowledgements. I try to always give acknowledgements to people. And if anything, I'm guilty of over acknowledging. And then incentives. Everybody in my company, whether you're the receptionist or a consultant or division manager, you have an opportunity to earn commissions by bringing in brand new client cycles. Here's a tip about goals. Set a goal that's so big that they scare you. It'll motivate you. Think about this. If you set a goal to go to the moon and you made it halfway to the moon, where are you? Nowhere. If you set a goal to go to Mars and you only made it to the moon, where are you? You're at the moon. And if you set huge, huge goals and only make it halfway, if the goal is 100,000 miles and you only made it 50,000 miles, from where you're sitting today, that 50,000 miles looks pretty good. If you set the goal to set your goals too small, so you only go, I want to do 10,000 miles, and you're going to fall back to only half of that. The goals aren't big enough. That's the real problem. Most people don't have what they want. We're bringing up again about writing the goals twice a day. Every morning when you first get up, every night right before you go to bed, and there's a third time. Whenever you're feeling discouraged, if you've gone through a couple sales calls and you're getting pushback or no's or stalls or the price is too high or whatever those kinds of things are, and you don't overcome them and you're starting to feel a little bit discouraged, write your goals down. You refocus yourself on your goals. That'll give you the motivation to continue. It keeps you focused on your why. Each employee has their own why for doing what they're doing. And as an employer, you should find out what that is so that you can get your goals as a company and their goals as an employee lined up. Engaged employees want to know more about the company and learn skills that will improve their performance. If you're worried about training because people will leave you after you spend all this money training them and go help somebody else, maybe even your competitors, that's not something for you to worry about. I mean, you got to train them to be excellent. What if you don't train them? They won't be excellent. What if you train them and they leave you? They're excellent someplace else. You have an obligation to give your all to your employees and treat them as if they're going to be with you forever, even knowing that a significant portion of those people are probably not going to be with you forever. Why? Because as an employer, I want to bring out the full potential of all my employees. I think I get loyalty, and people will find that training is vital. We have a little game going on right now that somebody has to learn to use all of our closes in non-sales environments, handling things in their own life outside of company. And the stories are always fun to hear. I apologize for this picture being here without chocolate syrup because it seems to me that blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries should always have chocolate syrup on them, and Seven's laughing at me. Health is really important. I take it from a guy who has at times in my life been over 100 pounds overweight. And you start walking down a street and there's a little 1% grade and all of a sudden my heart feels like it's pounding out of the chest. There's signals that are being sent to you that were being sent to me that I wasn't taking care of my health. So what we have in our group, in our morning meeting and our success meetings, is we have people who have some kind of goal, whether they want to lose weight or get a six-pack, is we have accountability partners. And that's your opportunity to use all of your fellow employees to help you get to your goal, because it's just more life, just more time. And time is one thing that is really important to all of us. You don't want to be on your deathbed worrying, having lots of regrets. Gee, I wish I would have. Gee, I wish I had. Gee, I wish I hadn't have. You know, that's not a great way to live. You have to take care of that body. In fact, I shot a video this morning about what a wonderful machine the human body is, because it can recharge itself. It recharges its own batteries. You just have to take care of it. You're the one who's in charge of how efficient that operates. Also, a human body is the best manufacturer of pharmaceutical or drugs, whatever word you want to use, on the planet. The human body can always cure itself, provided it has the right kind of nutrition and right kind of health. When employees are valued, their satisfaction and productivity raises, and they are motivated to maintain or improve their work. And I always try to acknowledge people. I always try to let people know that I pay attention to what they're doing. I acknowledge them when they have a comment. If I can tell them if I see that something's going on in their life, find out that, try to talk to them about it. Studies show that employee recognition is the key factor influencing employee engagement and organizational performance. It's my job as the guy on the top of the pyramid of the company to make sure that everyone who joins the company has the best chance of succeeding. We try to move you into areas where we can see your strengths, and we try to take advantage of them. But we also give them tremendous amount of training. We probably average 2.5 hours a day on some form of training, whether it's success meetings or role playing or going over their procedures with them. And it's really, really important to me that 100% of my employees really like their jobs, are really productive at their jobs, and are doing everything they can to line up with the company goals and line up their personal goals with the company goals to make everybody's life better. Let's talk about incentives. There is one good way to show employees that good work results in rewards. Offering incentives encourages them to work hard and grow, increasing production and motivation. Dallas has had a goal of me paying her $1 million a year in bonuses in the year. And all I ever say to her is, please do, please do. And, you know, a guy who sits on top of a company who doesn't want to reward his employees, doesn't want to pay them incentives for what they do, or pay them a sales incentive on closing and bringing in new clients, is cutting off his own nose to spite his face. You just have to really care about the people that are working for you. You have to really, really focus on them, providing them the support and the training. It's real easy to spot when someone is not doing things the way that, from your viewpoint, that you want them to. It's real easy to spot people whose production isn't up. They know it. It's your job to call it out, but do it one-on-one. Don't do it in such a way that you're introverting them. Do it with your heart. Train people with your heart. Get them connected to your heart. Let them feel the rhythm of your heart, and everything will get better for both of you. And you'll find a situation that very, very, very few people have. A good environment, places where people want to go, places where people want to show up, because the outside world, outside our front door, sometimes can be really tough, especially when you have kids or husbands or wives or ex-husbands or ex-wives, or people in your life who, let's say, are not on the same page as you. Used to be at one time, and they're no longer on the same page as you. This group has one job relative to all of their fellow employees, and that's to make sure that each other is doing well, by holding each other accountable, by being a good demonstration, by constantly lifting their own graphs. I know it sounds simple, but people who try to make it complicated are people who are trying to sell you drugs or some form of psychotherapy. And all you got to do is create good working environments where people actually want to go to work. It's a relief from the pressures of being in the crazy world outside. We live on a broken planet that's populated with broken people. And my job is to pull the brass ring every time I find one of these really, really, really motivated people from the outside, pull them inside and do what I can to make their lives better. We start off every morning in our company with a success meeting. Everybody has successes. And sometimes you're going to find that people they don't acknowledge themselves. They don't acknowledge their own successes. Trust me, if you got out of bed that morning and took a shower, that's a success. You've taken an action. If you made it to work without getting run over by a bus, that's a good thing to occur. You're motivated to do whatever it takes to get there. If you get to work and you had a tough morning, you leave the tough morning outside the company, you come in the front door and you join the successes that are going on. But learn to recognize your little small successes, because if you don't, no one ever acknowledges you. And that's a problem for people. It's like, I know personally, a lot of times when people say nice things to me, I get uncomfortable with it. And I really, really do. So it's just a matter of staying on top of it and acknowledging every little tiny success. And I put things up on the board, and it was called the daily homework list. I know from past experience that people will start doing those things. That is a successfully completed cycle of action. And that motivates you. Every time you complete a cycle of action, it gives you energy to do the next thing that you have to do. That's another thing that's wonderful about these human bodies and the spirits that are your soul, whatever you want to call it, that's operating your body. The other thing that we do at our company is we make it mandatory that people get on Cardone U and do 6 segments a day. Why? Because I know it works. I know the impact that it's had on my life personally. I've watched people who have been with me for a couple of years, and I've watched them change from who they were to who they are becoming. And a lot of that goes to the Cardone U training, and I recommend it to everyone. One of the things that we use is called a 10X planner. If you want one, just contact us and we'll see that you get one. I think they're $29.95, but it covers 60 days of your life. Down the left-hand side, you schedule out, you do this the night before, you schedule out your next day by times of the day. And then you turn to the right side of it and you list your goals and your targets, and then you list your goals again at the end of the day. This is a little booklet that allows you to control your life, every minute of your life, and make sure that you get everything that you've done. And everybody in my company uses it. One of the special things that my wife Julie has created is called winter baskets. And I said winter, not winter. That every month she sets a new game, and if you win one, then she creates one of these little baskets, and she customizes it to who the employee is. So it'll always have some cash in it. It'll always have some personal items that Julie thinks are directly related to whoever that winner is, but it's an extra incentive. These are things that we use. We exercise every morning as a group before we start the success meeting. Okay. Welcome to work. Everybody shouts and cheers, brings the tone level up. Then we do 10 jumping jacks. Why? Because it puts into discipline of at least starting your day every day with some form of exercise. And after a while, you realize, boy, I can do more of those, or I can do separate things, and maybe you do some on your own before you get here. My tips when it comes to handling employees is this: praise publicly, correct privately. When you're doing a correction cycle with one, 99.9% of the time, it should be done one-on-one in private. when you have something nice to say, if 99.9% of the time, it should be open and public. People should know that you recognize them for when they do something well. And I always send out little bits of praise in my emails. Right, Seven?
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Here's one of the other things. Foster capacity, confidence, and competence in your employees, the 3 C's. Capacity, confidence, and competence. And each person, when I meet them, has one of these is already a strength. One of them they're kind of doing, and one of them is, I can't do that, I can't do that, they're afraid of. And as soon as I figure out which one it is, I pour the heat on to them. And I think I do it with love. I do it from my heart. Sometimes it may not feel that way. Do it anyway, is what I say. Quality training is the catalyst for sales team success. If you understand what an objection is and isn't, and you understand that what to say when certain objections come back to you, it makes you feel like you can handle anything. That's the reason why one of the daily goals that we have, daily homework assignments, is to use any one of the closes that we're training on in your outside life in a non-sales environment. Seven does a great job of manipulating her mother by using those closes, huh, Seven?
Okay, it's true.
Okay. I have to prompt the implementation of motivation. You as a company owner, you as an employee have to accept the things that are given to you, and you have, because motivation is an inside job. Okay, it's something that comes from within. What demoralizes salespeople more than anything? Not being able to close sales. That is the reason why there's courses like Mastering Objections. That is the reason why the whole Cardone University exists, because it's a solution to the problem of you being demoralized as a salesperson. What's the best way to ensure your sales team can close deals? Give them tools. Tools like the Mastering Objections course, tools like owning getting a scholarship to the whole Cardone University, and then you putting in the work to train on it every day. Mastering Objections is what I would suggest you start with. That's regularly a $100 course. Today only, $29.97. Call 916-691-9192 and order it. We take Visa, MasterCard. All you got to do is give us your credit card number and we'll ship that to you as an ebook. So it doesn't even have to, you don't have to pay any shipping.
Hey, Tom, we put the link in the chats too. Make sure you tell them that the link's in the chat.
Okay, well, you just did, because I think they can hear you.
Yeah.
But look in the chat, and I see it under 3 different names, so everybody's pounding those to make sure that you get that. And I absolutely, this is a big deal that you should at least, if you're not familiar with Grant, look him up on YouTube. He's the #1 sales trainer on the planet. He's got like 7 million, 10 million followers, and he constantly over delivers. But this one little tiny course of Mastering Objections is going to raise your confidence level so much. And you can do it at your own pace. You can do it the way that you want to do it. You want to do 1 lesson a day, 1 lesson an hour. If you want to maintain motivation, the best way to maintain motivation is to maintain support for your sales team. Every morning we spend about 40 minutes role playing on all of our closes, or are specific to our 10X Excellence, our Cardone University, or to our sales tax team. We work on that all the time, so that anybody who works as a salesperson in this company is provided support to be an effective salesman, which means they can close. And that's our consistent training. Consistent is every day. Put in the discipline to do it every damn day. If you don't feel like it, do it anyway. How do you provide consistent training? I think from an owner's perspective, you buy a corporate version of Cardone University and you set the minimum amount that you want people to do every day and make sure that they do it and test them by doing the role playing. You know, all the training in the world is worth nothing if you're not willing to follow up on it and make sure it's really happening. And you have to find effective ways of doing that. And one of the things that we do at the end of all the role playing is that I bring everybody into the room and we have what's known as a challenge. Each person can pick out whoever they want to challenge, okay, and give them whatever objection comes up ever. And the person that's doing the role playing as the trainee has to come up with one of the objection handling closes that we've been training on. And it's fun to watch. It's really fun to watch nowadays because people we're able to get around the whole room without somebody collapsing and saying, I can't do this. And the reason that I've arrived at that point is because we do it every day. We put in the discipline. My employees all put in the work. And we start that day off with a success meeting. The answer to all of this is Cardone University. Absolutely. I would tell you I'm not trying to sell you that concept, but that would be a lie. I know it's the answer to every problem that you have in life. Every problem that you have in life, there's a part of Cardone University that will solve it. If you're someone who grew up with the lie that you can't make more money on this planet if you don't get a college education, Cardone University is the solution to that lie. If you think you have to go to college to make money, I know they're wrong. If you're not getting a specific kind of education like being a brain surgeon or something that requires a license or being a doctor, and remember, even when you come out of doctor school, you got to go someplace and practice and do an internship, and that's the test. So get involved with Cardone U. Call my office at 916-691-9192, and let's get you set up on Cardone U. And if you want to test how that stuff works, get the Mastering Objections course. It's only $29.97. And if you think that $29.97 is too much money, do it anyway. You don't know that? Do it anyway. Because if you let $29.97 stop you from doing something that's going to help you in your life, going to help you get to your goals and make more money and be able to help people in your family, you don't have a $29 problem. You got $1 million problem, and $29.97 is going to help you solve it. I promise. So what I'm showing you there is who and how to contact people, their phone numbers with their extensions. You can ask for Jeremy, you can ask for Wesley, you can ask for me. You can even ask for Dallas, or you can ask for Seven, who's probably, although she doesn't know it, is one of the top salespeople in the company. She thinks that she can't do sales. She thinks she's too shy. She just hasn't done enough Cardone U. We're gonna take that eggshell off and break it, aren't we, Seven? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay. So as I promised, we were going to get you off. I know that Tammy, you had a little bit of attention on time. So this has only been about 30 minutes. If anybody has any questions that they want to ask me, drop them into the chat, or you can call 916-691-9192, and you'll find out why people tell you to call Tom. In the chat, any questions about anything that I went over? What I'd like from anyone who's on this thing is to put into the chat what they got out of this little quick webinar. If it was helpful, if it wasn't helpful, what you liked, what you didn't like, what's your biggest takeaway? Come on now. I don't want to be standing and talk. I have to motivate my sales team. Health, good things. Little things that we all forget about. You know, in order for you to play this game on planet Earth, you have to be operating a body. And if you don't take care of that body, it's really, really, really to have hard to get everything in life that you want. And even, it's, you got to take care of the whole package. You're sweating, whether it's what you eat or how you exercise or whatever it is. Okay. It's your responsibility to take care of it. Okay. Don't get to your deathbed and have regrets. My goal is to slide into home plate with my last breath and win the game. That's my overriding goal for everything. And always remember, set massive goals. Set goals that are so large that your problems pale by comparison. It's just little pearls of wisdom that I get from Grant Cardone. But if you have a 10,000 step goal and you only get to 5,000 and you haven't been walking at all and you only get to 5,000, isn't that a lot of progress? I always figure that I'm not going to make that massive goal in a real short amount of time. Why? Because my experience on planet Earth is everything has some persistence in it. Everything has time in it. And my frustration is not being able to collapse that time. I have to stay healthy if I want more time. That's how I get into overtime. I have to take responsibility for getting up and walking around, even if I don't feel it. I have to take responsibility for not eating ice cream and noodles and what else is bad for me? Ice cream and noodles aren't bad for you. Ice cream and noodles every hour of every day can have adverse effects on your health. So you've got to do something about that. It's all up to you. If you don't want to exercise and you don't want to eat properly, then don't be pissed. Don't be pissed when it ends at 32 or 45 or whatever amount of time is too short for you. You're in control of that. You're in control of how much time you have. Okay. And always recognize that bad things happen to good people. There can be unknown things, unexpected things that happen to you. So stay motivated. Continue to push to make it to your massive goals, and you'll enjoy more life. So that is the end of today's presentation. I hope you've enjoyed my little talk here. And I really, really, really do this for you. I have massive goals when it comes to helping people on planet Earth. Okay. And if I can help, I guess we have 15 employees now. If I can help 15 people as a group understand the cohesiveness and the motivation, and it improves their lives, I have created a successful step. And my goal is that all 15 of them go in their personal lives or in their church or whatever they do, and they put into action the training that we give them, because this is a gift for everybody. And we're showing you the right way to run a company. And we didn't make all that up. I got that from Grant Cardone. Being in his home office, being at their morning meetings, seeing the tone level and the enthusiasm for people who rise up. And I'm sure that people came to work at that day. There might be, I think there's 150 people there now that maybe had a bad day, maybe had a bad morning, and it doesn't come inside the building, it stays outside. And if you can learn how to master that, it's gold, brother. It's absolutely gold. So anyway, that's it for today's webinar. I hope you found it useful. Let's take that word hope out of it. Just check out my video about there's no hope in our company, and you'll enjoy the tongue-in-cheekness of that statement. I did this for you. I hope you take at least one little thing out of what I said today and make your day better and make someone around you's day better. Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for me?
Yeah. It was a tough time today, but good day to all of you. because I have a very stressed time today. Because I just come back to my home just 2 hours ago, 2 to 3 hours ago. It's a night over here, so it's 12:30 p.m. It's it's night over here. So it's a very tough time. On the other hand, my phone is going to switch off. So in the meantime, I just stop my video. I just manage the computer and attend the video webinar meeting. So so it's a some conversation I missed, but I try my best to attend the whole part of it. So it's a guest event that
So
I
what
really
what was
like
your
it.
number one takeaway out of being here today?
So I got your email, but last week I was in very tough time because recently I joined in a new company. So it was a tough session I have spent. After getting the email, I forget to reply it. But when I get the time, there is a 23rd 23rd day, that is 23rd, 23, that is November. So it's I just get the time to reply it only half an 1 hour. So I reply it so to attend it. So as early as possible, I pass attended. So the title
Where
I
are you
just
calling
like it
from?
because the title yeah,
Where are you at right now?
right now at home.
No, what city and country are you in?
I'm in Bangladesh right now in city of Chittagong, which is a city of Bangladesh. So, so the title I just got from you is very interesting for me because it's the marketing sector. So I would like to attend it. So after checking that the title of it, so it inspired me to attend for the webinar. So I can say that what can I say? I just attended like a running person. So very short time I just got it to attend it. So on that time, just my phone is going to die. On that time, I also manage the computer to attend it because I would like to attend it because I like your speech. So it's really tremendous to inspire the young generation. So on the other hand, some viewers also over here. I don't know much about all of them. So so it's looked. I really thank you all of it.
Okay,
I
and I
just
strongly suggest that you get that course of mastering objections just to get a
so
little bit closer connected to the technology that I know is going to help you.
yeah. No problem. I manage it. I hope I will get some more webinar meeting. I think so. Is it right? Okay. Do you understand, sir, what I mean to you?
No, I do not.
Am I going to get some more webinar meeting in?
Yeah, we try to do these every couple of weeks.
Okay. Next time I will respond as early as possible. I will be prepare myself as my
I'm going
best.
to hold you to that. So whatever I offer the next time, you're going to buy, right?
Ye- So it's a fine question, but I'm passing a very tough time because said I got the technology, but it doesn't mean that the technology behind the technology I have some limitations. So
Okay.
so it would be please that I'm from the developing country, so my career is also developing. So it's like a meat of the part I'm just facing. So I really like to attend the course because I have a life. It's a very tough life.
Mhm.
So, but I'm managing it. I have a family to manage it. A very short time I'm guessing. I'm very a struggle person. So I struggle from my birth to still now. So you can say that I just go to my office at 10 a.m. Just right. Still now I'm in working. Uh, Attending the meeting is a part of also working. Attending the meeting of your is a part of my working because it's
Okay.
12:13, so I still in work. So I really love to achieve some more knowledge from different countries. So it's lovely to meet with you because you are a very more senior person, more talent person as per profile I just know from the LinkedIn. So I don't know much about it, but the information you passed me is really tasks that out of my books. So it's really lucky for me that too I easily get the information, and you invited me is really a lucky thing. I think so. You invited me because
So
you
you'll
can
be
say
back
that.
for the rest of them,
Um,
right? Every time we invite you?
of course, I hope I will attend. It doesn't matter the time awarded. I will attend for that. You know that the two meeting you offer me, I already attended. You know that the time behind the I face, I didn't disclose it, but right now I'm disclosing the scenery behind the meeting I did face. So it's all about.
Awesome. Well, join us again next time. Bring your credit
Okay,
card
great.
because we're going to ask for it every time.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for jumping on here and having the courage to ask a question.
And thank you all of you. Thank you all of you. I didn't know all of them over here. I only know about you. The face is smiley. So hi everyone. Okay. So
Okay.
thank you. Thank you. Take care.
See you next
Take
time.
care. Thank you. Next time.
Anyone else on here would like to unmute themselves and have a direct conversation with me? Go ahead and do that right now. Dallas, is there anyone else on?
Not in the Zoom, no.
Okay.
Platforms are still a couple, but looks like they're not asking questions, so I think that's it.
So everybody's off?
Yep.
All right, then that is officially the real ending of today's webinar.
Awesome.